Good afternoon. Welcome to Coach on Cam, a monthly webcast brought to you by the International Coaching Federation, Philippines Charter Chapter. Here we will spend 20 minutes talking about anything and everything about coaching. I am John Marie Mercado and I will be your host for this afternoon. In today's episode, we will talk about connecting, membership at ICF Philippines. Why be a member? What are the benefits of being a member? Today we have not one, not two, but three guests. Our first guest is Please She Sam Yong. Sam, or Samantha, has over 15 years of experience in learning and development, particularly in core competencies of leadership, human skills, as well as product knowledge related to basic aviation, language, food and beverage, and putting together team alignment and team building programs. She's an internal coach, particularly in executive coaching, and holds a degree in marketing management from the Multimedia University in Malaysia. Welcome, Sam. Our next guest is Fiel John Maria, or simply Coach John. Coach John is a life coach specializing in attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, and level 1 autistic spectrum disorder, formerly known as Asperger's syndrome. He's the first in the country to specialize in these two conditions, and for 11 years and counting. He wears multiple hats as a special education teacher, advocate, and is now mainly a life coach who handles teens and adults with neurodevelopmental conditions from all over the world. He's trained at the International ADHD Coach Training Center and is a candidate for the Advanced Certified ADHD Life Coaching Credential. He's currently completing his Professional Coaching Credential, or PCC, with ICF. Welcome, Coach John. And finally, last but not the least, our third guest is Hilda De Leon Salud. Dada has over 20 years experience in human resources, including her stints as managing director, general manager, and consultant for Human Capital Asia Incorporated. She handles executive and team coaching and was part of the Coach a Coach program of ICF for ICF chapters in Thailand, Indonesia, South Africa, and Nigeria. She is a professional certified coach. Welcome, Dada. So welcome guests, and thank you for accommodating us despite your busy schedules. Sam, let me start with you. You're Malaysian, you're based in Malaysia, but a member of ICF Philippines. Why did you choose to be part of the ICF Philippines Charter Chapter?
Thank you, Joe. I chose because it all started in Philippines back in 2016. I took up the coach certification course under Benchmark Consulting, and I was under the master coach who conducted it was none other than our first MCC, Julius Odenos. So ever since then, I've been with the club and I've been learning and practicing, but I've been doing it internally.
That's great to hear, and I'm glad you got your Philippine roots in the process. I understand you speak a little Tagalog in the process as well, right?
Konti lang. But very little.
Yep, you're right, Sam. I know that people will say, "Oh, I speak very little Tagalog," but actually understand everything, so that the others can talk in Tagalog in front of you, and you actually understand, right?
I guess so. I pick up a little bit here and there, but I think perhaps I'm more Filipino in the food than the language. The
Okay,
food wise.
now you're speaking my language, and I'm sure our next guest will not teach you the bad words in Filipino. Coach John, your field is very specific. How does being a member of ICFP help you in your career?
Well, it's just given me a wider I've never been in the corporate setting my entire life, though I've coached a lot of people in a corporate setting. So that really helps me understand the struggles of what people go through. When I first became a member, I was actually not expecting anything, and when I heard like the first recording of a coaching demonstration at the ACC level, the person came forth with the issue that I don't know which career to decide. I keep on focusing on so many things, or I keep on trying so many things, but couldn't focus on one. And they go like, "Oh my gosh, that's not so different from what people with ADHD go through, like myself." So there's that opening of the perspective and knowing that even though I work with a niche, everything's not so different, and it's been giving me a lot of that growth, just being part of this local chapter, like how to upgrade my credential, understanding how to do recording, and just be the best coach I could be.
So being part of the ICF Philippines community
Yeah.
has allowed you to discover that, hey, I'm not alone.
Yeah, yeah,
Part of a bigger community that
yeah,
share the same things that you shared.
absolutely. Even though I have a niche, I'm still part of a greater whole, and I'm still just a coach. That feels great to have just that support.
Well, you're not just a coach, right? You are Coach
Yeah,
John.
yeah. It's like yeah. I'm not just a coach. Yes, I'm Coach John. Yes, I didn't mean it in that way. Yeah, but I am comfortable being part of a greater collective, even though like I meant it in a way that I was like right now I'm the only one who's kind of in the country who's full-fledged in this niche, but I don't think I'll be the last one, hopefully. And but I realize what I do is not so different from what the rest of you do. That's been an important realization for me.
That's a great input. Dada, how long have you been part of ICFP?
Well, I've been a part of ICFP since 2012. Then I got disconnected and returned back to membership way back, I think, in 2018.
So why did you return? We won't talk about why you left, but why did you return?
I returned because I missed the community. I returned because I know the value of being a member of ICFP.
And help me understand that better. You talked the community. The word community has come up twice already, right? You say you
Yeah.
value the community. Can you expound on that?
In ICFP, it is the value of connection, especially in a world that is very disconnected, especially now that we are all disconnected. And the value of being in a community is being able to focus and have a relationship with people inside, even if it's online. Because before we used to connect face to face. Even if it's online, I see the value of caring for your professional growth as a coach. So I see also the value of knowing the latest trends in coaching. And I'll let you into a secret. It's getting back into the community that I was motivated to get the certification.
There you go. So it's not just as John was saying earlier. It's like I'm not alone. I'm part of a bigger community, but it inspires you to reach bigger goals, higher goals, because you see your peers in the community doing the same.
That's right. That
And
is
Sam talking about being connected and disconnected. You're I don't know how many thousands of miles away from us. What do you value most about being part of this community?
Um, I don't feel like a stranger, despite number one, I'm not a Filipino. I'm always welcome to the meetings. I'm always welcome as part of the family. So I think besides the word community, the word family really comes up very much among the members. We take care of each other very much, and whenever we need help, it's all we need to do is just ask, and no one will judge. Everyone will just like help will just come pouring in whenever you need it. That's like something that I have to say that that's why I'm actually still here despite I'm actually back in the country that um, actually has the ICF chapter itself, but I've decided to just hang around, and because it was also in the middle of NCO and things happened when I moved back. So I guess as long as you belong to a chapter, and if you still have all the obligation, as in like making sure that you are following ICF standards, the updated competencies, and and all the things that we're supposed to know, I think that's what matters most as well.
Thank you, and thank you for the compliment about liking being part of the Philippine. You're as far as we're concerned, you're Filipino. And John, the what is the one thing that you mentioned earlier already about that's me? You heard a coaching demo and you realize, hey, that's me. I'm not alone. Um, what can you share with us another aha moment or an enlightening moment for you because you were part of this community?
Yeah. Actually, well, to be honest with you, I didn't expect anything when I became part of this community. I just had to sort of like become a member of the ICF as part of my requirements, right? And part of when you go to the ICF website, right, it just asks you which local chapter to be part of. I'm like, oh, there's a Philippine chapter. Cool. Of course, that's where I'd be a member. I mean, I'm from the Philippines. I plan to be here, pretty much for the rest of my life. So but just like a day after I signed up, a person from the ICF just called me out, the membership head at that time. Sorry, her name escapes me right at this moment, and it was so accommodating. And I realized, wow, like if this community is the type of community who would reach out to you in that way, and not knowing anything about coaches in the Philippines, I went to the Christmas party because I signed up late November. That was my first encounter with the ICF, and we had good food. We had this amazing exchange gift program, and it was just I really really felt welcome. And I think in any profession you need to have that sort of camaraderie, knowing that there are other people who are just doing what you're doing and are passionate what you're doing, and you're just helping out each other, and that's definitely what I felt being part of ICF Philippines.
Thanks, John. And Dada, I mean, you're on the other, let's bring it to the other side of the fence. How have you helped your fellow members in the process of being member of ICFP?
Because someone helped me get certified, I also volunteered on my own volition to actually connect with some other members who wants to know about credentialing. So we had a chit chat, and I helped them go through the process, the step-by-step process, what I reviewed, what I went through to get certified. So I'm just paying it forward. I'm just paying it forward to those who helped me, motivated me, chatted with me. How are you in the certification process? So I'm now paying it forward to the rest of the coaches.
And Sam, I'm sorry you missed the Christmas party that John was talking about. I also missed that, by the way. But when will we see you back here in the Philippines anyway?
I don't know, to be very honest, because but hopefully soon. But hopefully soon. The thing is, for now, if ever I'm actually back in the Philippines, it's probably for a holiday. So it's the other way around. Yeah, correct.
Well, be careful. The moment we find out that you're here, ICFP will suddenly say, hey, Sam, can you help us with some of our activities since you're already here? All
Sure,
right.
sure.
And,
I'll be more than willing to do that.
and I mean, the three of you today actually best represent what Sam was saying earlier, that people just step up immediately. We say we need help. We needed people to be part of Coach on Camp today. And the three of you just stepped up. And especially Sam, coming from different part of the world, is still here. Thank God we're in the same time zone. All right, so we have time for one last question. Uh, Being a member of ICFP, okay, let's focus on this one thing. What's in it for you? We talked about some of these things already, but maybe we could just capsulize and summarize it. Let's start with Coach John.
Yeah. What's in it for me? Really, my wife works in a similar industry, is an occupational therapist, and she meets up with other occupational therapists all the time. But for the longest time, I didn't really get that experience because when I was first taught coaching skills by my boss, who was a clinical psychologist who had a background in coaching, I didn't have other people who were specializing in this particular field. Right? It wasn't until I went to a formal training program, ICF training program, that I felt that same way. I have this sort of like positive accountability, it's what I would call it, right? It reminds me to practice faithfully, ethically, to embody like a growth mindset, right? Instead of maybe playing video games and things like that, which is great on a break, to be honest with you. But, it reminds me to read a chapter of, Marcia Reynolds, or to watch a demonstration online, or to take advantage of the many things that they keep sending on the Viber group, coach these people, or learn about how to get the best recording, or learn about this specific method of coaching. And that's just been a great reminder, right? It's without that, don't really, I see that my growth would not be as pronounced. So that is invaluable to me, especially as a person who, has to get clients, right? Who has to be updated, right? Working freelance. Yeah.
The learning never
Super
ends, right?
essential. Yeah, it's essential. It's part of what we do. It's part of who we are.
Yep. And I agree with you. Video games are a great way to relax. I mean, Dada watches K-drama to relax. Am I right, Dada?
That's right.
So, Dada, same question. What's in it for you?
What's in it for me? Honestly, it's really the value of giving and receiving within the community. It's the energy exchanges. It's being able to connect with a community of coaches who actually have the same values and belief system. I don't really I people who believe in diverse views as well. So I believe we will not grow if we don't believe in the value of coaching.
Thank you. And I love how both of you focused on the values and how this community has helped you, constantly reminds you of the values and how to maintain it. Sam, how about you? What's in it for you?
For me is I've never actually thought I'll go into coaching because I started with training, and weird enough, I have a degree in marketing, which I should be selling instead of doing any of those two. So, but out of the three, I would say coaching uh, did give me that sense of fulfillment, happiness, and also um, mindfulness, surprisingly. Because I would always tend to overthink, not just think, I overthink things. And one of the very important keyword that I was given when I first attended my first coaching certification workshop was to let go. So that stays with me right up to today. And I think that even that let go level has actually went up to a higher level, and I think that helped a lot as personally as a person, as a mom, as a friend, as a colleague, as a leader. So it helps me a lot. So what's in it for me, I think there's a lot, but I would be very grateful of all the experience and all the things that I've actually had up till today, and never in um a 100 years or whatever, or how I can actually put it, is that I'm actually thinking of doing coaching towards a bit like what John is doing, but hopefully in Malaysia, because I think the community here needs that as well. So, but it takes step by step. So what's in it for me is that this is a starting point. This is a starting
Happiness,
point.
fulfillment, letting go, expanding your horizons, right? I mean, thank you for that very very interesting chat that we had. It's very inspiring, and really, what for me, my takeaway from this conversation is that we won't have had this if we didn't have this community of us getting together, being able to share ideas, and share this with the bigger ICF Philippines Charter Chapter community. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for our second episode. Thank you once again, Sam, Coach John, and Dada, for sharing your valuable knowledge with our audience. This episode will be available for viewing on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and audio on Spotify. Please do send us your comments and suggestions via ICF Philippines on Messenger. It has been a pleasure hosting this, and we hope to see you next month for another interesting session on the wonderful world of coaching. Bye.